This week at work we finished another business battle plan workshop. There were about probably 120 odd businesses in the room, well-established businesses, employing on average per business around 50 to 80 odd people. So sizable businesses, nice businesses, established businesses, seasoned business owners. And there was a question that came up that caught me completely off guard. And the question was around, but where do we find growth in this low growth economy that's fraught with all sorts of issues, whether it be inflation or rising interest rates or skill shortages? And given what we do and how we do it was something I've always taken for granted, but it got me thinking. It all begins really with one thing, and that is having a growth mindset. If you have a growth mindset, and the view is growth is on the agenda, and the only thing on the agenda, it then means however you look at whatever you look at, you'll always have growth in mind. And if you have growth in mind, you look at it from the perspective of an opportunity as opposed to from the perspective of distress or reasons not to grow. The next thing is that all these conditions in our economy change the status quo of how customers and clients used to behave. If you think about what your business does, essentially through its product and its service, it solves a problem for them, the customer. But the way you engage with the customer through how you market, how you sell, how you fulfill, how you administer, that creates the experience. And a change in the environment of business that causes stress and strains changes the status quo of how the problems emerge, and most importantly, what the experiences are that are needed for customers to onboard you as their preferred supplier. So, when status quo changes and you have a growth mindset, you're on the front foot to be the first to respond. The last area is these conditions make corporate life incredibly difficult. Very large organizations carrying very high cost structures have very little agility in order to respond to these changes of status quo. Within that, what many are doing are outsourcing formerly in-source services. Depending on what business you're in, what the products are, what your services are, you might well be the recipient of that outsourcing process. And this is the period where you are able to engage and lock in, hopefully, some really good, solid, reliable corporate business. Think about those three elements in the environment we face today. It certainly came up in those discussions, and it's yielding dividends right across the board in terms of the companies we see, engage, and work with. Until next week, have an entrepreneurial day.